Okay. The center of the spread, I have here the Wheel of Fortune. And it signifies to me some type of a fated event where we have an opportunity to revisit some things. If we feel like we've left some things that have been very open-ended, this is a good time to go back to it and find some closure. It's also a really good time to say our piece and make peace with the past. Okay, so I feel strongly that there is something that you've been meaning to say, you've been meaning to express to someone in your life, and in particular a crush. It might have been like a missed opportunity with somebody that really cared about you, and for whatever reason they might not be in the picture, or in your current existing relationships. It's a good opportunity to express how you feel and to tell somebody how much they mean to you. So I see you expressing your love, and I see you being very open and very earnest about making amends and trying to tell somebody how you really, really feel about them. So we have your energy showing up here. This is the Prince of Hearts. So this is the Knight of Cups, okay? The Knight of Cups energy is someone who's very sweet, flirtatious. Not like overly flamboyantly flirtatious, but it's somebody who's very sweet at heart. And in general, you have a lot of love to give. And I feel like this is a very innocent, childlike energy where if you feel a certain way about somebody, if you have a crush, if you are eyeing somebody, you kind of need to find an emotional outlet. And so you will tell your siblings, you will tell your best friend, you will try every tactic in the book to be close to that person, to be in their vicinity, to communicate with them, and to, express how you feel. So the depiction is very different from that of the Rider-Waite deck, in that this person is a lot more expressive. And I feel like you are making some changes in your life and to be a lot more appreciative of the people around you and being a lot more open and expressive about how you feel. And you're taking this next phase mainly because I feel like feelings are being reciprocated between you and another person. And so you feel safety with the connection, and you feel almost like you really miss the other person. The partner that you're dealing with here, I have the Two of Wands. And this usually denotes some type of a physical or some type of a geographical distance between you and another person. You might be in a long distance relationship. They might be traveling a lot for work, or, just as a part of their routine, they might be out of the picture. So physically, there's a little bit of a distance I'm sensing here between you and another person. The Two of Wands is a solid, committed type of a relationship, but it seems like only one person is in the picture. The other person is elsewhere. And so you might be traveling far away. You might be commuting for whatever reason, for work, for whatever circumstances you might be in, or the other person, vice versa, might be traveling for work, might be moving in and out of your physical location. And so the amount of time that the two of you have together might be very scarce, very few and far in between. And, absence does make the heart grow fonder, especially for water signs. And so you're becoming a lot more emotionally expressive towards your partner and really cherishing and treasuring the time that you do have together. And I feel like this is a week where there will be a lot of romance, where there will be a lot of emotional expression coming back and forth between you and a relationship partner. With the Wheel of Fortune at the center of the spread, I also feel like opportunities are coming back around for us to, say what we need to say, and not keep our partner in the dark, or not let our crush get away. So it's almost like learning lessons from the past, realizing that cycles do happen, and realizing as well that when the window of opportunity is there and it's open via the Wheel of Fortune, we need to be quick on the uptake, and we need to express to the other person how we feel, so that they're not going elsewhere. They're not looking elsewhere for that validation. And I feel like you're just appreciative of the person that is in your life, okay? I see another person that is also on the periphery, and we have here an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The energy that they exude is, this is somebody who takes care of business. They take care of the home. They cook really, really well. They clean, and it doesn't even have to be a female, okay? They cook really well. They clean. They take really good care of you. They clean the house. They take care of the kids. They are a lover of animals, and they take really, really, really good care of the little children, the animals, and keeping the place nice and neat and organized. There's somebody who's also very resourceful. They're very business oriented. And I also feel like you have somebody in your midst that, for whatever reason, you might not have appreciated, or you might not have noticed their contribution to your life. For whatever reason, they might have already left the picture because they didn't feel like you appreciated everything that they had to offer. And so I do feel you coming to this person with a major outpouring of love and telling them how much they really mean to you. And I feel like they're hesitant about taking you back, but they're very open and receptive. So if you have a message that you want to convey to a person, and you might feel like, oh, it's too belated, I don't want to bother, I don't want to inconvenience them, and it's not going to achieve anything. If there is a message that needs to be said from the heart, it is going to be well received, and the other person will reconsider your proposition. So if this is somebody from the past that you feel like you had a missed opportunity with, because for whatever reason you were stuck in your world and you didn't realize how much they meant to you at the time, or you didn't realize all the contributions they made to make things possible for you, then I feel like this is a good week for you to rectify that, to fix that mistake, to express yourself, and to let this person know exactly how much, they mean to you, or they have meant to you, and whether or not you are sorry that you might have taken the situation for granted. And I feel like things are being, they're going to listen to your messages. So whatever method of communication you are using, they are going to listen. And they are going to reconsider. So if there is, a want from your end to reconnect, to reconcile, and to get back together, I feel like they're more than open and receptive, but they need to hear the messages from you that comes from the heart. Okay, so let's just do away with pretenses, do away with this passive aggressiveness where it's like, oh, I don't really want to bombard them with messages because I don't want to inconvenience them. It's not an inconvenience. It can be very flattering depending on the words and the way in which you say it. And I feel like anytime we part ways with another person, it's always good to have that closure. Okay. It's always good to get to clear the air and to get whatever it is that you need to say to them off your chest, especially if it is a very positive message that you want to give this person. So I see like an energy here about you looking back at your past relationships and realizing that your partners have done a lot in order to get you and the relationship moving. And I feel like some of you might not have realized it at the time, but now that you're in a much more stable point in your life, it's easier to see the forest for the trees, right? Like when you are not in survival mode, not stressed out, and not paranoid about, the future. That's when you can really live in the moment and really appreciate what another person is doing for you, or just to appreciate the stability that somebody provides for you, and how much of an emotional anchor somebody has served in your life. In the other areas of your life, I feel like some of you, there's a little bit of I wish life were different type of an energy that I'm picking up. And I feel for many of you, you're at a point where you are very financially stable, okay? Life is moving along a little bit slow. It's slow with the Queen of Pentacles, but it is moving. And I feel like for many of you, you're at a point where you are really, really anxious to kind of like be at the pinnacle of your career, be at the pinnacle of your financial and emotional success. You're rushing for things, possibly even rushing for a stable commitment in a marriage, and to buy property, and to, be at the peak of your career. And I feel here you're looking around at, other people, coworkers, friends, your peers, and I feel like they're coming from really good families where their parents, were like the family unit was intact. And so because of that, they had the emotional support from both parents. They might have also come from a place where, because there were two incomes in the family, they never experienced huge financial dips and huge financial fluctuations. So both parents were financially stable, emotionally stable, and both were financially and emotionally available to help them get through college, help them get through school, help them with mentoring them to tell them, this is the path you should go. If you want to be a lawyer, here's the school you should go to. So I feel like they have a lot of social capital. And many of you are comparing yourselves to the people in your environment and all the stability that they grew up with and all the social capital that allow them to really achieve great things in life. And you look at it and you're just like, I wish my life were like that. I wish I didn't have to struggle so hard. I wish I didn't come from a single parent household. I wish I didn't come from a broken home. Or I wish, both of my parents were physically and emotionally available to me, to guide me, to shape me, and to mold me so that I could be at the pinnacle of my success right now, just like my friends, just like my peers. And so you felt like I didn't have that support. And that's why my life is taking, 5 years, 10 years. It's like, it's a delay is what I'm feeling. And I feel like you're recognizing it as a delay. And you're recognizing the fact that if I had the solid structure via family support, I would have achieved what I wanted to achieve 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I wouldn't have to go this circuitous route to reinvent the wheel and to start, from square one. And so there is a sense of envy, I feel, coming up in this spread where you wish, your life was different and you wish you had that support. But what is coming into the picture here is they're really reminding you, hardship builds character. Okay. This is a card about immense hardship. And I usually feel like, this is like growing up in a family where parents were emotionally unavailable or the financial resources from one year to the next, it fluctuated. And so you've had to get out into the world at a young age and you were just kind of your life path meanders. And it was really hard for you to find a career track. It was hard for you to like figure out, do I want to go to college? It was hard for you to finance your way through college even. And so the spiritual advice I feel is coming through. We all have life lessons that will ultimately, that we need to get through, that we need to embody, that we need to learn, that we need to live through so that it can take us to our destiny. We are all here, going through life to learn specific lessons. Your friends who are fortunate enough to have a stable home life, they might have different lessons to learn. But the bottom line is through the sense of lack, you're able to appreciate and not take things for granted. And I feel this message is also resonating through your relationship sector. Whoever that was around for you or is still around, they are a really good person. And I feel like without their presence in your life, through the lack, that's when we appreciate the person. So it's like after, a whole season of rain, we really appreciate the sunshine, right? And then after a whole season of scorching heat, summer heat, we really appreciate the fall and the snow. And so everything in life has a rhyme and a reason, and we might not be able to know it now, but it comes through the fact that life changes. And the major lessons are the ones that we have to live through to really grow from and to really learn from. And I feel like your destiny in general, Cancers, has a lot to deal with, discipline. Disciplining your mind, your body, and your spirit, okay? This is kind of like working together with the opposing forces, the optimism and the pessimism. Okay? The heart pulling you in one direction, your mind is pulling you in the other. And it's sort of like through the process of disciplining and figuring out that middle path, that's where you're going to be able to succeed. So I see many of you overcoming tremendous amount of hardships, despite all the naysayers, despite the odds that are against you. And it's because you appreciate, you came from a space of lack and you appreciated the fact that growing up in this environment allow you to see and to treasure all the abundance that's made available to you. And so right now you're very directed about, securing a future for yourself. You're very directed about, providing financial stability for the people that you love, because you don't want them to end up in this space. And that's very honorable and very admirable. And I feel like it has taken a long time for you to realize that this is ultimately where you are channeling your energy, where you are directing your energy, and what you are trying to create for yourself for the next 10 years. So I feel like many of you are coming into this week with a renewed sense of purpose, with a renewed sense of like a plan. Okay, so this is what I'm doing for the next 5 and 10 years. And once you have that plan solidified for you, that's when the chariot moves along. Okay. It's when you're in a state of indecisiveness, when you're being pulled in multiple directions, when you're like not really sure, and when you're unmotivated. That's when the chariot meanders. It goes through life without an aim and a purpose. But coming into this month and this week, you have a renewed sense of purpose, and you know what you're supposed to do for the next 5 and 10 years. And so you're going to be, on automatic mode, on like cruise control, just to get yourself to your destiny. Okay. So I feel like it's a beautiful energy coming in to support you, for you to kind of like, reach all your goals, to fulfill your dreams, and to, really be available to take care of other people that you love.